We're living in an era defined by rapid change, and it's never been a more exciting or a challenging time for facilities management. How can you help your business thrive while facing shifting consumer expectations along with supply and labor shortages? Find out how market leaders are doing just that and ensuring high performance across every location. Welcome to the 2021 Service Channel Facilities Summit.
Hello and welcome to our first ever Grocery Facilities Innovation Summit. Thanks for your time today. We all know how busy it's been out there and we really appreciate you taking some time to share with us. We're excited to jump into the future a bit today. As you probably know, at Service Channel, we spend a lot of time developing new technology and data to help drive the evolution of facilities, and there is no industry undergoing as much interesting and fast-paced evolution in that area as the grocery industry. In fact, we've repeatedly heard from you and your colleagues that there will probably be more changes to the grocery industry and your facilities in the next 5 years than there were in the last 50. A strong prediction for sure, but pretty realistic from what we can see today. So sit tight and join us for the next couple of hours as we hear from industry experts, grocery leaders, and facilities gurus, all with the goal of staying in front of these changes and helping us to write our own next chapter in these fun times. I've met many of you before, but if we haven't, I'm Tom Biocchi, CEO of Service Channel, and today we are fortunate to also welcome some amazing leaders from the grocery industry, including participants from many top national and global grocery operators like Walmart, Sam's Club, Ahold Delhaize, Aldi, Trader Joe's, a number of leading regional grocers, Tops Market, Save-A-Lot, Brookshire Brothers, Hy-Vee, Rally's, additional major food retailers from Progressive Grocer Top 100 lists that focus on convenience like CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Racetrack, Cumberland Farms, and others. And relative newcomers who are helping us all to revolutionize the grocery space at many levels. Welcome DoorDash, Deliveroo, Amazon Fresh, and several others. Okay, here's the quick lineup and agenda for today's summit. A lot of hard-hitting topics that we think will be very relevant and compelling. Thanks in advance to our customers and partners who have agreed to share their stories. Like Sam's Club, who'll talk about how they drive better customer loyalty through improved asset management. And the EG Group, who's grown from a single location to over 6,000 convenience stores globally. They'll discuss how they're driving the future of food and fuel in Europe. And Tops Market, they'll share the step-by-step journey they've taken to modernize their grocery facilities. Gennaro Plumbing will talk about how they're growing their business, and we'll outline how to manage service providers when demand exceeds the skilled labor supply. And finally, but with paramount importance for all of us, we're lucky to have Jonathan Tan join us. Jonathan is the VP of Strategic Consulting for Taper Solutions, and he'll lead us through the key principles for sustainable, high-performance operations. So again, thanks everyone. And as a last logistical point before we jump in, this session is intended to be highly interactive. You're strongly encouraged to use the chat feature to ask questions, have conversations, challenge, and otherwise bother everyone else attending the summit. So thanks. Let's all keep it lively. Okay, and as an on-ramp to the main sessions, I'd like to just touch on 3 mega trends that we're seeing every day and that are affecting everyone in the grocery industry, particularly the facilities teams that keep the industry moving ahead. Trend 1 is the recent and very accelerated emergence of new business models in grocery. Gone are the days when a grocery store was just a grocery store that just provided groceries. The grocery store industry and its offerings have evolved to reflect a number of different factors, COVID obviously being one of them, but let's not forget the rapidly changing customer expectations and shopping habits, and the technological advancements that are helping us to transform from the impossible to the possible. And as a result, new formats, you see new offerings, new services, and yes, of course, new facilities types. They're popping up everywhere. They're changing the game. You've heard the numbers. E-grocery sales are on pace to hit 13% of total sales this year and 20% by 2025. That's 1 in 5 grocery orders delivered. You know how that's going to change the layout of your locations. And 85% of shoppers have increased curbside pickup since COVID-19 hit. That's having a major impact as well. And if you just look at what Hy-Vee, Sprouts, Lowe's Foods, and Roche Brothers are offering now, along with your groceries, you can get your morning coffee. You can get the family dinner, get beer with a friend, pizza, barbecue. You can have event space for birthday parties, the book club meeting, trivia night, and other music events. You aren't just competing with other grocers now, you're competing with restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and other community spaces. Brands like Meijer, Target, and Publix are opening new, smaller format concepts, not just in the big cities, but also in suburban and rural areas. They need better coverage, and they want to be more convenient for their customers. All that means different layouts, different equipment, and different expectations regarding spacing, safety, and people flow. More refrigeration, more pickup, more delivery space, more shop-in-shop formats, more parking lanes for pickup. And this puts us all, facilities professionals and facilities partners, into a much more strategic role with our real estate and operational partners. You'll hear about this in the upcoming session, the Zero Downtime Facility, where Sam's Club will talk about maximizing ROI from their assets and building the business case for investing in facilities. And we think that examples like this, where technology and data can help you be more proactive with strategic planning, show how we can all be on top of our game and in front of these industry shifts. It's never been more important, and it's never been more strategic. The second key trend we want to briefly touch on is the ongoing labor shortage, and more specifically, the shortage of skilled trade labor that we're all experiencing. Everyone's taken aback when this started to come to the surface, but with all of the openings and reopenings and format changes and new expectations, there's simply more work to get done, and as we all know, less skilled labor available to do that work. You have longer lead times, higher prices, more inconsistent quality. It's a classic supply-demand mismatch. It's Economics 101. Here's a real surprising statistic. On our service channel platform, we have seen declined work orders, meaning I can't do the job you requested I do. We've seen declined work orders increase by 60%, 60% in the past year. That is crazy, especially for a service provider industry that thrives on new work all the time. During that time, we've also seen average invoices creep up by 9%. Some of this is material related, some of this is labor related, but neither of it is what you need or want. And this trend is being further extended by those new smaller formats in rural locations where there are fewer and fewer providers. More locations, more work, the same or less supply, and it's stretched further than ever. You're going to hear quite a bit in our session today as to how you might counterbalance these trends and shore up your service provider supply chain. We'll talk about things like how much should you be spending? We have new peer benchmark data that will help you to pinpoint your budgets at a local, regional, and national level. We'll help you to quantify in terms of speed, cost, and quality how to measure the performance of your providers in a way that will help you get the best outcomes over and over again. As an example here, we have data that shows that the top 25%, the top quartile of refrigeration providers on our platform are 39% less expensive. They show up 6 days faster on average, and they resolve their work on the first trip twice as often as the bottom 25% of refrigeration providers. Let's find those good guys, right? Amazing. And ultimately, who should you be working with and how can you find them? How do you select, based upon the data and actual empirical performance, the best local contractors for the trades you need? We'll walk you through how one regional grocer here saved 45% on their refrigeration trade and increased on-time arrivals by 65%. So if that sounds interesting, and I'm sure it does for many of you, please attend the session today on how to thrive when demand for providers exceeds supply. We'll see you there. The third trend that we want to touch on is sustainability. There is no doubt this is front and center in the minds of customers and grocery executives alike, and that there are numerous efforts from you to make a big improvement in your sustainability profile and carbon footprint. We're all starting to make a dent, but there's way much more to do. Better maintained equipment and assets are more energy efficient. It's pretty simple but powerful. Proper maintenance can reduce your energy consumption by up to 20%. Electronic process flow and billing saves tons and tons of paper and waste. In the last year alone, Service Channel customers processed 25 million work orders electronically, saving about 125 million pieces of paper, which is equivalent to more than 12,000 trees. That's a lot of paper, that's a lot of trees. Also, reducing unnecessary truck rolls improves your carbon footprint of your supply chain as well. Again, in the last year, we estimate with our data that our workflows have helped customers avoid 18 million miles of unnecessary contractor travel, equivalent to over 1,300 cars on the road. And of course, as large users of refrigerant, you all know about EPA regulations, the financial and social impact you can make by managing refrigerant and leakage more efficiently. Later today, you'll hear from Tops Market about how they've reduced their leak rate by 35% in just 1 year. And a number of our customers are now retrofitting their equipment to use lower impact refrigerants like transcritical CO2. Talk about an opportunity to be a hero at both a financial and a sustainability level. You've got your hands on all these dials. You're some of the most influential and consequential drivers of improving your corporate sustainability. As mentioned, you'll hear more ideas today from Jonathan Tan, who brings more than 20 years of experience in energy efficiency and sustainability programs with food retailers. Okay, enough from me now. Let's get on with the meat of the program. I'm really looking forward to these next couple of hours and to your comments and insights over the chat. Again, it's great to have you all here. Thanks again for your time and partnership, and we really hope you enjoy the rest of the day and get a lot out of it.